Welcome to the most disliked show on YouTube.
Your concept and your idea about it's called concealed carry, and it only works where you have people very adept at using firearms, of which you have many, and it would be teachers and coaches.
Donald Trump suggests arming teachers as a solution to increase school safety. Try to picture the most clumsy, non-athletic, non-agile teacher in the history of your education, from K to 12 and beyond. Try to picture a woman. That's what I picture. I'm actually picturing Mrs. Chapman. Mrs. Chapman was about 6'3", heavier set, glasses, short haircut. She was a fine woman. But now, let's give her a concealed carry permit. And let's turn her loose in a school shooting situation. I always thought that Donald Trump was more smart than George W. Bush. This seals it. The man is brilliant.
If the coach had a firearm in his locker when he ran at this guy, that coach was very brave.
And those girls are very brave to be sitting right next to you.
Saved a lot of lives, I suspect.
Look where their hands are. Trying to protect something, are you?
But if he had a firearm, he wouldn't have had to run. He would have shot, and that would have been the end of it. And this would only be, obviously, for people that are very adept at handling a gun. And it would be, it's called concealed carry, where a teacher would have a concealed gun on them. They'd go for special training, and they would be there, and you would no longer have a gun-free zone. Gun-free zone to a maniac, because they're all cowards. A gun-free zone is let's go in and let's attack, because bullets aren't coming back at us. And if you do this, and a lot of people are talking about it, and it's certainly a point that we'll discuss, but concealed carry for teachers and for people of talent, of that type of talent. So let's say you had 20% of your teaching force, because that's pretty much the number. And you said it, an attack has lasted, on average, about 3 minutes. It takes 5 to 8 minutes for responders, for the police to come in. So the attack is over. If you had a teacher who was adept at firearms, they could very well end the attack very quickly. And the good thing about a suggestion like that, and we're going to be looking at it very strongly, and I think a lot of people are going to be opposed to it. I think a lot of people are going to like it.
A lot of the mentally ill are going to love it. We got a lot of those in this country. They're going to absolutely love it.
But the good thing is that you'll have a lot of people with that. You know, you can't have 100 security guards in Stoneman Douglas. That's a big school. It's a massive school with a lot of acreage to cover, a lot of floor area. And so that would be certainly a situation that is being discussed a lot by a lot of people. You'd have a lot of people that'd be armed, that'd be ready. They're professionals. They may be Marines that left the Marines, left the Army, left the Air Force, and they're very adept at doing that. You'd have a lot of them, and they'd be spread evenly throughout the school. So the other thing, I really believe that if these cowards knew that the school was, you know, well guarded from the standpoint of having pretty much professionals with great training, I think they wouldn't go into the school to start off with. I think it could very well solve your problem. So we'll be doing the background checks. We'll be doing a lot of different things, but we'll certainly be looking at ideas like that. You know, a lot of people don't understand that airline pilots now, a lot of them carry guns. And I have to say that things have changed a lot. People aren't attacking the way they would routinely attack. And maybe you have the same situation in schools. So does anybody like that idea here? Does anybody like it? Right? Yes? for Meadow, your beautiful Meadow. We talked about that.
One person raised her hand.
And do people feel strongly against it? Anybody? Anybody? Strongly against it? All right. I mean, look, we can understand both sides of it. And certainly it's controversial, but we'll study that along with many other ideas.
Now picture the biggest hothead teacher that you ever had. For me, it's Mrs. Chapman again. Give that person a gun. I'm just kidding. It probably wouldn't be Mrs. Chapman, although she had her moments. Maybe Mr. Shaw, maybe Mrs. Dembinski. Give that person a gun and just wait. Wait until the gun gets left out by accident. Some kid steals it, starts shooting fellow students. We see this again, where the teacher just loses it one day and starts shooting people. This is a big country. I mean, it's bound to happen, right? Am I right? And so I can just see the YouTube video now. And your thoughts?
My thoughts? You want to hear my thoughts about?
Yeah, the tape's rolling. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts were teachers shouldn't have guns. We should
Now, why
have
the
a
hell
law.
not?
We should have a law and just limit the guns. The person who is like police officers has guns. And that's it.
What about lifeguards?
Like in Australia, remember? It happens, I believe, in I forgot the year.
There
1995.
was a mass shooting.
Exactly,
and,
35
they outlawed
people
guns.
that.
Because they're not
Exactly.
as stupid as we are.
They created the law, and now it never happens again. Something like this needs to be done in America.
Because we have willfully ignorant people in this. People that they deny reason. They deny rational. They will rack their brain to find another way out of it, to legitimize it. Of course, a coworker of mine, I'm not going to mention any names. I mentioned that Trump, even before this video, after I believe it was the Paris attack, Trump suggested arming people in the cafes. And my coworker, he said, "Oh, that's a good idea." So they'll try to find any reason other than the actual rational explanation, because it's a hobby. It's a hobby that they really love. They love shooting that's all it is. It's a hobby. And I say, get an Xbox. You love guns, get an Xbox. What do you think?
I agree about this one, honey. People shouldn't have guns. Only police officers or like security.
I think police officers, airline pilots, and lifeguards.
Why it's airline pilots needs to have a gun?
Not necessarily. I don't mind that pilots have them just for in case there's a terrorist on board.
Oh, okay.
And it's just they're just in the cabin,
Mm-hmm. Actually,
and usually the cabin is locked anyway. But
I don't want to be in a video.
No, you're not. You're not. But no, in schools, it just there should not be.
No, you're right. No.
That's just more guns. It's very logical. The more of a thing that you have, the more every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So, it's just, you got a lot of stupid people, I'm sorry. A lot of dumb people in this country. Okay, and one final note. Today, I have officially been kicked out of the YouTube Partner Program. YouTube Partner Program, if you don't know, is a way for creators to monetize their YouTube content. And I am no longer in the program because I do not have 1,000 subscribers or 80,000, I believe it's 80,000 hours viewed overall. So that ended for me today, and it may be more difficult for me to get back in the program, especially because it's probably going to make me more brazen in terms of my content. Now, I'm not that I ever wanted to satisfy an advertiser before. Well, now I really don't care about satisfying advertisers, because why would I? There's no benefit. There's no incentive to. There's absolutely no incentive to. I'll probably never make it back into the YouTube Partner Program, so there's no incentive to, So lifting copyrighted material, what would stop me from doing that? I mean, I guess they could put a copyright strike on me and my channel, but they usually don't do it, that sort of thing. So the content could get even better. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine this content? As amazing as it is, getting better. Have a good one. One more thing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Our subscriber levels continue to increase because of you guys. Thank you so much for doing that. For everyone that subscribed, I appreciate it. And you know what? The number one thing that you can do for me is share this video. Help me get more subscribers. Hit the share button. Takes very little calorie use to do that, and I appreciate you very much.
Please remember to subscribe and hit the dislike button at the bottom of the page. Contribute on the About screen of the channel by clicking on the PayPal button.